On est reparti pour Hitman. Putain. Ouf le blanc. C'est vraiment pas ouf. Faut que je m'achète une manette noire. Bref, créer un compte. Ouais, ça on s'en branle. Plus tard. Ok. Campagne d'histoire. 23. Et faisons la deuxième. Deuxième assassinat.
She came home.
Carlyle's lost an empire. You fall hard enough, and you tend to be reminded of what truly matters. So, the end of the line.
Salut Bastien.
You ready for this?
Ça va ou quoi?
Are you? Who will you be without a score to settle?
I guess the world's most wanted fugitive will have to do.
Alexa Carlyle is dead. According to the funeral invitation, that is. So naturally, it caused quite a stir when the late matriarch turned up at the breakfast table, alive and kicking. Carlyle,
Tranquille.
wisely sensing that her number is up, has emerged from exile to
je lance un live parce que je fais le let's play sur Hitman 3. J'aime bien qu'il y ait des épisodes.
Carlyle descends from an ancient line of warrior aristocrats. Her great-grandfather made a killing in the Second Opium War and established an empire in shipping, railroads, and newspaper publishing. While largely unknown to the public, the family still asserts its quiet dominance over global transport and logistics, media, and technology. Most senior of the partners, Alexa Carlyle, is cold as ice, tough as nails, and sharp as a razor. Incidentally, it was her late father who first brought the three families together after the end of World War II at this very house, meaning that this gentleman is the birthplace of Providence.
It began here, and it ends here. Talk about poetic.
One more thing. According to our intel, Carlyle keeps a case file on the Constant. Information that may be helpful in his recapture, so don't leave the estate without it.
Right. Happy hunting, 47. See you on the other side.
Nice. Bon. Eh bien, c'est dispar. Oui, professionnel toujours. Merde, j'ai pas vu les intrigues. Je crois qu'il n'y en a pas beaucoup. Bon, en même temps, il n'y a qu'une cible. Déguisons-nous en la vieille.
The Carlyle family's home for countless generations. The Revenant Alexa Carlyle and her three adult children, younger brother Zachary, grandson and daughter-in-law, are all gathered to conduct Carlyle's sham funeral. Curiously, Carlyle summoned a famous London PI soon after arriving this morning, but his purpose at Thornbridge is yet unclear. Now, the target knows that you're coming, and her guard detail is top-notch. So Mr. Gray will secure their nearby field HQ and intercept all calls going in and out of the estate. Any appeal for backup is going to fall on very deaf ears. Good luck, Jet.
Si, merde. Ah, j'ai la classe comme ça, là. Là, je suis beau, là.
Phineas Whitmer, private investigator. I have an appointment with Madame Carlyle. Mr. Whitmer is Madame Carlyle. Go right.
That is Phineas Whitmer, the famous private investigator hired by Madame Carlyle this
Bon, on va pas faire de la merde dès le début.
Maybe you should do some detecting yourself, 47. A famous private investigator summoned by Alexa Carlyle has arrived at Thornbridge Manor. If you take his place,
ouais, on va suivre. Suivez le détective privé. Oui, ok. Ah, je ne peux pas aller dans l'eau dans ce jeu. Très bien. Ah oui, là. Oh! Comment c'est pas discret du tout? Je crois qu'elle peut voir que je fais de la merde. Ah, bien que... Nice. Ah. Ok, nice. Je crois qu'on peut se déguiser. Oui, très bien. Bon, on devrait tous avoir buté. C'était pas volontaire. Mais au moins j'ai la paix. Bon, après, je sais pas si je peux faire ce que je veux non plus. Mais bon. À voir. Ok, c'est bon.
Considering the fact that I spotted no less than 2 routes to get inside the house unseen.
You know what we're doing, sir. Don't worry about that.
Oui. Qu'est-ce qu'il y a?
Greetings, sir.
Qu'est-ce qui lui arrive? J'ai le droit de rentrer?
No, you don't have the right clearance, mister. Please.
Ok, ok, ok. Ok. C'est pas grave. Faut que je trouve un moyen de rentrer.
On top of everything, Rosie thinks she's in love with young Patrick. I mean, that's a breaking heart happening if I ever saw one.
Oui.
Life can be tough sometimes.
Alexa back from the dead, a make-believe funeral, a murder mystery. Oh, it's all too much.
Don't worry, I'm sure everything will settle down soon.
Putain, pourquoi il me casse les couilles? Et quoi? Je comprends pas pourquoi. Je comprends pas pourquoi il vient me casser les couilles en fait.
A safe in Madame Carlyle's office. I bet
Je suis dans la poubelle.
the file on Arthur Edwards.
Oh la vache, j'ai vraiment aucune dignité. Nice.
She turned up and demanded to be put up in Madame Carlyle's bedroom. We're the new heads of the family after all. It is only fitting, she said.
Ça j'adore ça. Ça.
Stopped that, which was a surprise. He normally accepts his wife's outrageous behavior without batting an eyelid.
Il y a un endroit pour se cacher.
So soon was just a bit steep, I suppose.
Je sais pas s'il y a un endroit pour se cacher.
Just as bad. Just look at Rosie. He has no respect. Preying on the girls like that.
But he was such a gentleman. He gave me his coat and all.
Rosie, you need to forget about Patrick. No good's gonna come of it. Stick to your own kind.
You mean like Chris?
Oh, putain merde, j'aurais dû le faire quand t'as affiché. Bonjour. Ok, bon, moi je suis en intrusion. C'est pas cool. Là par contre, ce que je peux faire, c'est l'assommer avec quelque chose. Ah! Ah! On m'a vu. Ah! Ah! Ah, j'ai été vu.
Shit.
Ok.
No. What's happened? Are you okay?
On m'a vu, merde. Ok, du coup, ils vont chercher un mec comme moi. Chier, putain! Putain, ça va être le bordel. Oh putain, j'ai foutu le bordel. Ça fait une sauvegarde à un moment? Ok, ça a fait une sauvegarde. Donc en vrai, ça va. C'est quelle heure? 16h13, ça va sauvegarder. Ok, attends, on va refaire. Dites-moi juste qu'il est pas buté. Ah putain, fais chier. Ah non.
Oh my god. Hey, are you...
Quoi? Ah, non mais quoi? Non mais quoi? Non mais Nick, t'es mort toi.
Okay, I've got it. Oh, fuck.
Alors oui,
Oi, you need...
ta gueule. Putain, ah, non, voilà. Bon, ça va être le bordel, mais au moins, ça passe.
Just a simple spontaneous caress, what a difference that would have made. Right. I clearly remember when I was 5. I climbed a tree and could not make my way down. I was scared and pulled out the cover. And when you saw me, you climbed a tree.
C'est vraiment le bordel. Bon. Juste que je le mette à part. Bon, j'ai été vu de pas mal de monde. Ça peut être le bordel. Ça peut être le bordel.
You have strong feelings for Thornbridge Manor. An unusual connection to the place, even though you married into the family.
I do not. I mean, it is my husband's ancestral grounds. Of course I care, but what are you insinuating?
Just an observation.
Il y a vraiment des cadavres partout, quoi. J'ai fait n'importe quoi. Salut mec, t'es beau gosse, hein.
I could listen all day. He pours emotion into that instrument.
Quite the poem. But you're right.
Anyone?
Putain, je crois que c'est quelqu'un qui m'a vu ça. S'occuper de toi, mon ami.
What a marriage. Splendid dynamics between them. Loaded with conflict. Unsaid fears and desires. I could just stare all day.
La boîte à fusil plus proche. Oh.
And right in front of me, the greenhouse.
Nice. Ça c'est cool par contre. Je pense que c'est un défi en plus de la tuer avec. Ah, pardon. Je crois qu'elle a quelques doutes sur moi. Je peux me déguiser en photographe. Manière d'avoir la paix. 5 minutes. Oh non. Oh putain, ouais, il y a du monde. Hein. Oh. Ah ouais, il y a un monde de fou. Bon, tout le monde peut me voir, littéralement. Bien que, ça peut peut-être passer.
If you're dressed like a Detective 47, you might as well act the detective. I suggest you go talk to the butler.
Nice. Objet illégal, ok. Mais au moins, on est bon, on est en détective. Parler au majordome, oui. Je veux juste aller voir le bordel que j'ai mis là-bas. Parce que ça doit être un sacré bordel tout de même. Oh putain, ouais, d'accord. Putain. Oh, l'horreur, quoi. Je vais prendre un savon. Merci. Putain, il empile les cadavres et tout. Ah ouais, il nettoie et tout. Oh l'eau. Prends un poisson. Bon. Bah, tout a été nettoyé, c'est très bien. Oh la raclure quoi. Oh le clodo que je suis. Incroyable. C'est où qu'on monte? C'est où l'étage? Ah, fort bien.
Mr. Whitmer, are you ready to inspect the crime scene now?
I am.
Very well. I feel obliged to point out that current affairs surrounding Madame Carlyle are of a delicate nature. You may be familiar with the recent announcement of her death. You will probably learn that the staged funeral is scheduled to take place tomorrow. Madame's children were not informed until this morning that their mother was in fact not dead at all. So please bear with them if they seem affected by the rather unusual situation. I trust I do not need to remind you.
Faisons petit check. Je suis l'intrigue. J'aimerais juste voir si je peux faire des trucs tués dans un accident. La noyer, bon, ça c'est le classique. Multiple empoisonnement. Prendre la séance photo. Tenir la chandelle, ok. Offrir le repos éternel. Ah, l'enterrer devant sa propre tombe. On peut même faire le... Ah, c'est stylé ça. Son salon privé.
Before you inspect the
That
crime scene,
is Alexa Carlyle, unofficial leader
case
of the
concerns the
Providence
death of
Partners
Mr. Zach,
and last one to
Madame
be alive.
Carlyle's younger brother. He was found dead in his bed this morning. The door was locked from the inside, and a suicide letter was found in his room. However, Madame Carlyle suspects foul play and will not accept that he took his own life. I've prepared some information for you, so please do come and see me when you finish your investigation of the crime scene. This is Mr. Zachary's room, to my right.
A locked room murder mystery 47. I trust you'll...
Alors, la chambre, je pourrais dans la lieu posée au cimetière. Des choses
Why
intéressantes.
don't you use
Ah,
your camera to scan the dead body 47?
bah oui, je peux.
Throat markings indicate a rare, short-lived plant poison killed him. Spread shows time of death at around 10 o'clock last night.
You do know your poisons 47. Zachary was shopping for new Wellingtons last night. Not exactly what you would expect from someone suicidal. Zachary's suicide note. Also, a sample of handwriting. It could be relevant to compare to other samples to establish its authenticity.
J'ai oublié qu'il y avait ça. Ça c'est cool. Ça c'est trop classe par contre.
It's a secret passage. This could explain how the door was locked from the inside. of the floor plans. Somebody's been researching the secret ins and outs of Thornbridge Manor. I believe you've done a thorough search of the crime scene, 47. Maybe it's time to see the butler. I'm curious about the information he's prepared for you.
Gregory, don't say more to that weird detective than you need to.
I was just having a laugh, dear. I must admit, he's pretty good.
What did you believe?
Please. If I could be bothered, I'd be worried if I
Have you a,
No, you should probably,
a pin in it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh les mecs quoi. Ton mystérieux.
Now, good idea. Yes.
Ah voilà.
That
C'est avec ça qu'on
American
pourrait le
lawyer,
buter.
small office. Did you check his travel document?
I did, sir. It all checked out. Mr. Patrick, can I do anything for you?
Yes, actually. Could you speed up?
Mr. Fernsby, I'm done with the crime scene.
Did you establish a time of death?
Zachary died around 10 o'clock last night.
That means the staff were off duty. And Madame Carlyle and her security didn't arrive until this morning. That leaves Madame's family and myself as the only persons here when he died.
Quoi? Je sais pas.
And before you ask, no, I do not have an alibi. I was alone in my office at the time of death. Here's the material that I've prepared for you. It's a list of the possible suspects and their quarters. Hopefully that will help you keep track of your findings. Please come and see me when you've solved the case, and I will take you to Madame Carlyle.
This is very useful information, 47. So how does one solve a murder mystery?
Yes,
47?
actually. Could you
Motive,
speed up time so I
means, and
don't
opportunity,
die
I
from
believe.
boredom? I
May
fear
I suggest
may
you
not...
ask the suspects for alibis? Or perhaps you
Sorry,
prefer searching
man,
the manor
but
for clues
you're just
first?
making me feel a little uncomfortable now.
Make sure
Okay.
you focus on your work.
Patrick
I don't need
Carlyle,
one more maid crying.
can you tell me where you were
So watch
yesterday
yourself
evening?
around here, Mr. Patrick.
Shit, it's that sneaky butler, isn't it? He ratted me out. Elaine, give us some privacy, would you? Don't tell Mother, okay? She's really tense these days, and the last thing I need is more hassle. I took that pretty blonde, Rosie, for an evening stroll. I mean, how the fuck am I expected to cope for an entire weekend in this shithole? I'm bored out of my mind. So, is that it?
What did you think of Zachary?
Creepy as hell. No ambition. Imagine deciding to live in a museum. You know, Father says Zachary and Alexei used to be two of a kind. He had a great future ahead of him. Then suddenly, he just gave up everything. What an idiot. Thank God Daddy chose looks and brains over pedigree when he married Mummy. I don't have to worry about the inbreeding so customary in these circles. If that's all, I think I'll get back to my slow death by boredom.
Did you see anything suspicious last night?
No. I reckon Zachary tops himself. I know I would have. Or perhaps Mr. Fernsby. I don't like him. He could have done it.
Bon. Ils sont où les Mongols? Putain, mais ça va être... Oh, je vais galérer, le manoir est immense. Oh, j'ai mis le malaise à chaque fois. Putain. Bathroom. Très belle salle de bain, tout ça. Ah, nice. Classe.
That door leads to Emma and Gregory's room.
Ouais. Ok. Donc il doit y avoir les clés quelque part. Faut juste que je les retrouve.
Hello there, sir.
Et où trouver les clés? Ah. Je vais interroger.
Gregory Carlyle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Oh, you're wondering about my alibi, Mr. Detective. Well, I left Thornbridge around 8:30 for a pint with Edward. I wish I hadn't. Quiz night at the inn. On the other hand, staying here with Zachary, my obnoxious sister, and the wife sporting another one of her headaches would have been a fate worse than death. The short of it, Zachary was very much alive when we left. I stayed for the last shout, and I was back here just before midnight. Anything else you want to pry from my intricate...
Tell me about Zachary.
Zach? Huh. Such a sad old sod. A bit heavy on the bottle, but who could blame him? Only company he had was his rare plants and mother, who travels more than she stays here. Honestly, I can't say which is the bigger bore. He's better off dead. Is that all?
Anything else you'd like to tell me?
Nothing really. I'm just enjoying the show. Our perfect mother obviously fucked up, didn't she? Faking her own death. You know, she's explained nothing to us. I think she's scared to own up to her own mistake.
Emma Carlyle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Surely I'm not a suspect.
I need to account for everyone.
Well, I spent the evening with my family, but I got an awful migraine and had to take to bed. Everyone can attest to that. I believe I went up when the boys sat down for a drink around 8 o'clock. Is that all?
How did you feel about Zachary?
I might as well be honest. His presence was always awkward. How do you have a meaningful conversation with a man who only cares about plants? In my opinion, Alexa bears some responsibility for how this ended. She supported his self-limiting behavior by letting him live here. Anything else you want?
Have you noticed anything else out of the ordinary?
Nothing special comes to mind. Except, perhaps, I did get a feeling that Zachary was depressed, not just sad. I suppose he realized that he had no one with Alexa gone. Even Alexa must feel the pangs of guilt over that one, letting him believe she was dead. Then again, guilt isn't her strong suit.
Bon, ok, merci. Il me reste, j'ai interrogé tout ça. Ouais, c'est elle, je la sens pas. Mais j'aimerais aller dans leur chambre. Il faut que je trouve les clés. Ça, c'est plus compliqué. La boîte à cigares, bah oui, bien sûr. Tout ce qu'on peut prendre, on va le prendre. Mais ça va être compliqué le bail. Je vais prendre un plumeau. Voilà, j'ai décidé. Qui est... Ah oui, il y avait une truc là. Oula, ok, même pas. Le problème étant qu'on ne sait pas où est tout le monde.
Hello, sir.
Oui, allô. Qui parle?
He says he got it notarized the very same day. Right, listen. You go to their office and ask for sheriff.
Ah.
Best they've got. Tell her
Salut
you want
meuf.
to see the records. Don't take no for an answer. And call me as soon as you've got them. Thanks, Phil. We'll get to the bottom of this.
Rebecca Carlyle, can you tell me about yesterday evening?
We don't really see much of each other, my brothers and I. I suppose it takes our mother's funeral to bring us together, and even then, it's not like we sit on each other's laps. Now, let's see. Patrick, Gregory's son, disappeared straight after dinner. You know, I think he might be in some sort of trouble. Edward wanted to go as well, but Gregory convinced him to stay for a few drinks before they went off for a pint at the local at 9:15. I swear Gregory enjoys Edward's discomfort over staying here. I had a conference call with my New York office at 9, so I spent 3 hours on my laptop in my room and went straight to bed afterwards. I don't know about Emma. She did act a bit strange. You know, I bet she was making lists for changes needing to be done once she gets her hands on Thornbridge Manor. Quite the shock she had when Mother arrived during breakfast. Is that everything, Mr. Whitmer?
Tell me about Zachary. Did he act strange last night?
You know, now you mention it, he was a lot more chatty than usual. He wanted to know about my connections in the publishing business. Apparently, a friend of his is writing a book, which strikes me as very peculiar. I didn't think he had any friends. Is there
anything else you feel like mentioning?
I may be wrong, but I saw Mr. Fernsby, the butler, leave Zachary's room early this afternoon. And he seemed a bit startled when he saw me in the hallway. It's probably nothing. Oh, and one more thing. Please be kind to Edward. He can only take so much. Is that everything, Mr. Whitmer? I do have a lot to see to.
Oui. Bon, il me reste Edouard à interroger. Et où est Edouard? Je ne sais pas. Donc l'enquête. Quoi? Non, non, ça va.
So, how long have you been working here?
About a month now.
You're American. What on earth are you doing in this shit? You feel like you belong to clubs in London.
Je trouve la clé.
What about...
Quoi? Lunettes de quoi? Hein?
I can work while we talk.
Ah oui, ok, oui, si j'ai compris. Putain. Bon là il y a leur chambre, mais je sais pas comment y rentrer, putain. Faut un pied de biche. Mais un pied de biche, j'en avais un. J'avais un pied de biche. Je peux donc l'utiliser. Juste falloir que je me fasse discret, mais j'avais un pied de biche. De quoi? J'en ai déjà mis un tout à l'heure en me rasant. De quoi? Mais j'ai tout nettoyé.
That is the door to Mr. Fernsby's office.
Oui et non. C'est où que je l'ai buté, le mongol? Ah, c'est là. Le pied de biche doit être par là. Ah non, lui, ça va être avec une clé anglaise, merde.
I'm telling you, she's not fit to be in charge anymore.
Hey, Rebecca.
Ah, ça c'est cool. Toutes les portes du manoir. Oh yes, putain, c'est nice. Ça c'est parfait. Pour aller dans leur chambre. Qui est quelque part. Putain mais eux décidément, pécho, putain, enculez-vous là. Bon. Est-ce qu'il y a des trucs?
Now this is interesting 47. A letter from Emma's mother stating that Emma is the illegitimate child of Alexa's late older brother, Montgomery. And listen to this. She claims to have witnessed Alexa and Zachary murder him. The plot thickens.
J'ai un nombre d'armes, c'est un véritable arsenal. Qu'est-ce que... Canne de marche. Ah. Je vois qu'il faut une bouteille de propane. Soit. Ouais, c'est toujours l'autre mongol à interroger. Putain, je sais pas où il est ce con.
Same.
Vous avez fini de vous pécho? Je vois qu'il est...
I'm serious. I have a friend who's... She says that's the... Belle, I don't believe this place.
Non, pas là que je voulais aller. Ah.
Did you give the Fitzpatrick token to Madame Carlisle's daughter?
Rebecca? Yes. She's insistent, that one. She kept asking all kinds of questions. Who had the other one? Why I gave it to her, that sort of thing. You did make sure she didn't see you give the other one to the butler?
Oh, of course.
C'est encore parti, celle-ci va donner une copie de dossier sur Arthur Edward. Ah. Rebecca. Oh, putain. Ah. Il se passe quelque chose.
I'm dealing with the situation
in a discreet and efficient way, and I expect your cooperation in all related matters. Secondly, the arranged funeral event tomorrow will take place as planned. No one can know that I am still alive. I expect you all to act your part. Last, as you all know, I have a lot on my plate and need to focus on sorting everything out, so please do not disturb me with your petty concerns. You are
Ah non, c'est pas avec lui.
and as part of the elite,
En soi, j'aurais pu, mais
have to deal with difficult situations
j'ai envie de
like
finir.
this. It comes late for most of you, but this is a chance for you to show what you are made of. That will be all.
Professor Edward Carlyle, can you tell me your whereabouts for last night?
Oh, yes, this dreadful business with Zachary.
Renseignements. Jetons. Alors d'après Rebecca, c'est Reba. Alors Rebecca, c'est qui? Ok, Rebecca et Monsieur Fernsby. Ok.
I stay at the local inn. You see, I prefer not to spend the night here at Thornbridge Manor. My brother Gregory came along for a nightcap. He'd never admit it, but I think he understands that I find this whole thing upsetting and wanted to provide some comfort. I believe we went to the Stag's Head around 8:30. If that's all, I have a speech to write.
Can you tell me about Zachary's behavior last night?
I certainly didn't expect him to commit suicide. Sure, he was upset by Mother's supposed death. We were. But he seemed more engaged than usual. You should ask Rebecca. They had a long talk. Did you know that he hadn't left Thornbridge Manor in nearly 50 years? His plants, Mother, and the staff, all the company he had. Anything else I can do to help?
Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary?
You mean apart from the fact that we came here to bury our mother and she shows up alive and kicking? Zachary found dead in his bed this morning? Or perhaps that the planned funeral is still taking place and I have to do the eulogy? And Mother was surely of strong opinion on it afterwards. I can't breathe. Excuse me.
Quoi? Pourquoi ils mettent une croix de suite? Alibi confirmé. Ah ok, ils ont l'alibi. Ouais.
What an exit. Old bag's got style. Show what you're made of.
Mr. Fernsby?
Mr. Whitmire, you have enough evidence to present your case for Madame Carlyle?
No, not yet.
Come and see me when you do.
Ah quoi? Attends, c'est quoi les lieux d'intérêt qui me restent à fouiller là? Si je peux pas conclure l'enquête maintenant. J'ai interrogé tout le monde. Ok. Indice trouvé 1 sur 3. Ah putain. Faut que j'y retourne, merde, je suis con. J'ai des indices à encore trouver. C'est quoi ça? Ah. Le fameux fusible. Soit. Putain, c'était où déjà? Le bureau. Ah, je crois que c'était là. Ouais. Ah bah, qu'est-ce que... J'ai vu un truc.
41 guests will attend the funeral tomorrow. There's still a lot to see to, but we're in good time, I think.
Zachary's diary. This is big. He was about to confess to the world that he and Alexa murdered their older brother Montgomery 46 years ago. And apparently, Mr. Fernsby helped make the murder look like an accident. And 47, the handwriting doesn't match the suicide letter in his room, proving he didn't write it himself. Mr. Fernsby clearly didn't commit the murder, but I think you have enough evidence to convince Madame Carlyle he did. Maybe you should tell him you are ready to present your findings. Unless, of course, you want to do some more detecting, 47?
On va essayer de continuer. Ça peut être marrant. Sachant que j'ai accès à tout en plus. Faut juste que je monte dans les chambres. Ça c'est pas une chambre. Bon, faut que je trouve toutes les chambres. Je sais pas où est-ce qu'elles sont toutes, mais ça devrait être faisable.
That is the door to Rebecca's room.
Putain, le bordel. 2.
I can see from the log that Rebecca was in a conference call from 9 p.m. to midnight last night.
Oh, les trucs nuls, quoi. C'est où qu'il y a l'autre indice? Je le vois pas. Ah oui, ok. Suspect potentiel, ouais. Faut trouver la chambre. Alors attends, il me reste quoi à trouver? Chambre de Zachary. Elle est opposée au cimetière, ouais, putain. Comment me faire galérer mes grands morts?
Hello, sir.
Ça c'est sa chambre. Qu'est-ce que c'est que ça? C'est quoi cette pièce? Ah, 5 sur 6. J'ai pas tout trouvé encore. J'ai pas tout trouvé. Ah oui. Ouais. Putain, mais il me manque quoi? Cette foutue chambre. Tout chercher. J'ai tout fouillé. Quand même fou, y a plus rien. Pourquoi ça me dit que je trouve pas? Je comprends pas là. J'ai indiqué des indices, mais non, je suis pas d'accord. Il n'y en a plus. Bon, nique sa mère. Alors ça, j'aimerais savoir ce que c'est que cette pièce. Au niveau des chambres. Un sur 4. Bon. Mais Rebecca, c'est bon. Je retourne dans la chambre d'Emma et Grégory.
You verified his identity?
I vetted him thoroughly. He's good.
Have you ever forwarded
I should get back
put
to
a pin in it? Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Et putain, les indices, quoi.
A keychain pendant for
Ah, j'ai poussé des plantes exotiques.
greenhouse. What's that doing in Emma and Gregory's room, I wonder? And why is the key missing?
Ça me dit qu'il y a des indices, mais les indices... Bah non, voilà. Il y a des indices, non, il n'y a pas d'indices, les frérots. J'ai tout fait. Pourquoi ça me dit qu'il y a des indices? Boule de ouais. Ok, super. Bon, de toute façon, on peut faire nos trucs. J'aurais bien aimé... Non, faut que je trouve l'autre mec. Juste aller au dernier étage, tiens.
Excuse me, sir. Seems like you're not cleared to come through here. Sorry.
Ah. Bon, bah je vais aller voir Fernsby alors. C'est où l'étage du bas? On va redescendre. Chaque fois je galère. Monsieur Fernsby, où est tout? Ah, très bien. Ça arrive à pic.
I'm ready to present my conclusion to Madame Carlyle.
Very well. If you'll follow me, sir.
De toute façon, en vrai, c'est soit lui, soit elle. Genre, parce que lui, je pense pas. Ce manoir est vraiment immense, par contre. J'ai tellement de trucs. C'est n'importe quoi. Je vais la tuer avec du poisson.
How are you today, sir?
Sinon, il me fuit pas. Tranquilla. Putain, faut que je récupère le dossier. Du coup, il me faut les pièces, les jetons.
This is Madame Carlyle's office. Please step inside.
I need to keep an eye out.
Pardon? J'ai pas le droit. Peut-être là alors. Ah, pardon.
Your detective skills have gained you access to the Lion's Den, 47. Now, go claim your reward.
So, Mr. Whitmer, you've reached a conclusion. Take a seat. Please, go ahead.
The butler, Mr. Fernsby, killed Zachary.
Fernsby? Oh, you've got that wrong. He would never do such a thing. He is the most loyal man I have ever met.
I found pills in his office that matches the poison that killed your brother. Furthermore, I found Zachary's notebook, half burned, in Mr. Fernsby's fireplace. It showed that Zachary intended to publish a written confession to a murder the two of you committed nearly 50 years ago. The murder of your older brother, Montgomery.
That's outrageous. We did no such thing.
No need to feign innocence. I know a killer when I see one, and my discretion is assured. The papers also described how Mr. Fernsby helped you stage the murder of Montgomery as an accident. I believe he killed Zachary not to be exposed as an accomplice to murder.
Sweet Fernsby. You are wrong, Mr. Whitmer.
Putain.
He did not do it to protect himself. He did it to protect the Carlyle legacy. Mr. Fernsby, like myself, understands that sacrifices must be made to secure stability and prosperity. Mr. Whitmer, I'd appreciate it if your findings never leave this room. I understand Fernsby's actions, and there is no need for them to have more consequences than they already have. Fernsby was very fond of Zachary, and I'm sure his decision will haunt him to the day he dies. About your reward, have you considered an amount?
I want the file you have on Arthur Edwards.
Arthur Edwards, the Constant. That must mean you're... I expected you'd show up.
Oh, oh.
But you're not here
Merde.
to kill me. If you were, you would have already. The enemy of my enemy, I suppose. You can have it. You earned it. The file you want is in the safe. Good hunting. I need some privacy. Thank you.
Sir.
Oh, incroyable.
Good work, 47. That's the file on Arthur Edwards secured. Time to take care of Madame Carlyle.
Eh bien, faisons ça.
Mission complete. Well done, 47.
Et ça, c'est cool. Tout fait en même temps, c'est nice. Je vais me barrer d'ici. Quel tragique accident, n'est-ce pas? Je me taille. Non, je vais pas le tuer. Le pauvre. Au revoir. Salut les Jones. Bon courage. C'est naze, j'ai pas eu me faire chier avec le... J'aurais dû me faire chier avec la photo, mais bon là j'ai pas trop de temps. Putain, c'est le bordel. Salut. C'est nice. mal. Tout correct. Grande mission. Ah ouais, attends, score de mission, nouveau record. Putain, pour faire un 5 étoiles, ça doit être chaud. Ça doit être chaud de faire du 5 étoiles. Motorweb, cacher un pistolet. Il y a tellement de choses à faire. Tellement de choses à faire. Regardez la cinématique.
47. Don't respond, just listen. Diana can't help you now. You need to find Olivia. She will know what to do. I wish there had been more time.
And then there were none. Thank you, Miss Burnwood. Now, it's my turn.
Stay down. Boss wants you alive.
Yeah? How about now?
Over here! Cover me!
Walk away!
Or what? You gonna take us all on?
Don't.
Tell the Constant to start running!
You think you've won? 47 is out there. And 47 never misses his mark.
Neither do you, Miss Burnwood. That's what makes you valuable.
You're delusional. You think I would betray 47?
Trust me, you owe him nothing.
What is this?
I told you we could help each other, and I meant it. I look forward to your call.
Gray is gone. Go to Berlin and stay out of sight. We're all that's left now.
Compliqué. Et bien c'est donc fin de ce troisième épisode. Ok, ça va, j'ai joué 1 heure, donc en vrai ça va, c'est nice, c'est plutôt propre.